Let's talk about tech leadership. We hear the term all the time, but it can feel a little abstract. Today, we're going to cut right through all that theory. We're going to deconstruct what a senior tech leader actually does by diving into a real-world blueprint of their impact. Let's get into it.
So what's it really all about? It's a great question to start with, because, modern tech leadership isn't just about managing projects or knowing the hot new framework. The real impact, and we're going to see this again and again, comes down to one core skill: the ability to translate complicated technology into powerful, real-world outcomes.
So here's our game plan. We're going to look at three key pillars of impact: driving business value, unlocking innovation, and building awesome teams. And then we'll tie it all together by looking at the specific toolkit of skills that makes it all possible. First up, driving business value. This is really where the rubber meets the road. It's all about making technology directly serve the bottom line, whether that's by making things more efficient, slashing costs, or just making sure critical systems don't fall over. Let's start with a hard number: 30%. That is a massive reduction in cloud computing costs at FINRA, and these are the folks who regulate the entire U.S. financial industry. A number that big doesn't just happen by accident. It's the direct result of a smart, strategic, and technical shift, which we're about to break down. And just to show you that wasn't a fluke, here's another one: an 80% cut in software license costs at the U.S. Postal Service. How? By moving old legacy applications off of expensive proprietary software and onto modern open source stuff. Again, a direct, measurable financial win. So that 30% number we just saw, this slide tells the story behind it. The old system, which you can see on the left, wasn't just expensive, it was unreliable. It kept having outages that would literally disrupt critical financial investigations. The move to a modern serverless architecture wasn't just a cool tech upgrade. No way. It was a business continuity solution that also happened to save a ton of money. This is what a leader does: connect a technical solution directly to a core business need. All right, let's move on to our second pillar. A great tech leader isn't just putting out today's fires, they're busy unlocking tomorrow's potential. This is all about transforming the tech department from a place that slows things down into an engine for discovery. So try to put yourself in the shoes of one of 8,000 cancer researchers. You have a breakthrough idea for an AI experiment. Amazing. But to actually test it, you have to follow this painful process. File a ticket, get in line, wait for an engineer, who then has to spend 4 hours just setting up your environment. That kind of friction, it's a huge barrier to discovery. Now, check out the new way. The leader's solution was to build a simple, no-code tool. Think of it like a self-service kiosk for AI. This meant any of those 8,000 researchers could suddenly launch their own experiments in just 10 minutes. No engineer needed. All that friction we just saw is just gone. And the result of that shift? A 95% improvement in speed. I mean, come on, that's incredible. And this isn't just an efficiency metric on a spreadsheet. This is real-time, hours, days, weeks, given back to scientists so they can focus on what they do best: science. That's what it means to democratize tech.
The impact of this kind of thinking can be profoundly human too. At the Department of Veterans Affairs, a new machine learning algorithm led to an 80% reduction in benefits processing time. This isn't just about writing efficient code. It's about getting veterans the support they earned, faster. Okay, on to pillar number 3. None of these amazing results, the cost savings, the innovations, they don't happen in a vacuum, right? They're delivered by people. So a huge part of a leader's job is to build the human engine, the high-performing teams that can actually make the vision a reality. If you look at this experience at IBM, you can see this isn't just random hiring. It's a deliberate, thoughtful process of scaling. Starting with a small team of 4, the leader intentionally grew it to 16 engineers across 3 distinct teams, putting things like mentoring programs and career paths in place to support all that growth. And it's also about how people work. By championing modern workflows like Agile and Scrum, which are all about iterative development and fast feedback, this leader made the entire department more effective. And the result? You can see it right there in the chart, was a 30% faster delivery speed. That's a measurable boost in the team's output, driven straight from a change in process. So, we've seen the results. Now let's pull this all together and look at the actual toolkit of skills that powers this kind of impact. It's really a blend of high-level strategy and deep, in-the-weeds technical knowledge. On one side of the toolkit, you have leadership and strategy. This is like the architect's view.
building the org chart, setting the technical roadmap, getting everyone across the company aligned, and managing the budget. This is all about defining the what and the why. But that strategy is pretty useless without the technical credibility to actually back it up. This is the how. As you can see, it requires deep expertise in things like cloud architecture, big data, and DevOps. And in highly regulated fields, security and compliance are just non-negotiable. To be truly effective, a leader absolutely needs both sides of this coin. So, if we had to boil it all down to one single core idea, it's this. The modern tech leader is a translator. Their fundamental job is to take all that technical complexity we just looked at and convert it into simple, powerful, and understandable outcomes that drive the business forward. That's the whole game. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We've just mapped out a blueprint for what it takes to be an impactful leader today. But technology never, ever stands still. So the real question is, what's next? What new skills and translations will be required to define the tech leaders of tomorrow?